2018 Ford Escape, crank and no start. Let's figure out why. We'll keep it simple. Anytime you have a crank no start issue, it's missing one of four things, and that's air, fuel, spark, and compression. A little bit of a backstory. This customer said this car might have electrical issues. He towed it from a different mechanic to my shop, and I already see things that are concerning. One, I see a bunch of wires that are missing, stuff that's labeled. We don't have a battery. Our coolant is low. That's not a good sign. Ford 1.5 coolant intrusion, but we're not going to go there. And around back, we got a pile of fuses from the previous mechanic and relays. They were really hoping this was going to be an easy fix. Step number one, we're going to go ahead and scan the car. And I could see that we got some pending codes and then communication issues that are not current. So that's a good sign. Step number two, we are going to check the fuses. We are going to do a visual inspection of all the wires. We are going to check the passenger compartment fuse and then also the rear fuse. I hate how Ford has this cowl that you got to remove anytime you want to do something. 20 minutes later, I went ahead and I checked all the fuses. I went ahead and I checked the passenger compartment fuses, and I checked the rear luggage compartment fuses as well as our crank position sensor. Now on these Fords, the crank position sensor, if it's broken or if it's not lined up, then it will cause a no start. Next, we're gonna take off the valve cover and we are going to inspect our timing. Now that we got our valve cover off, we're gonna inspect it and we got our issue. Look at the marks right there. They are not perfectly flush. This is another 1.5 and you could check the timing on this by having this at the 12 o'clock, this at the 12 o'clock, and both of these will line up exact. As you can see here, both of these are not lined up. Now here's what causes this. Ford decides to, well, we're not gonna use keys on our camshaft. We're just gonna use a bolt that locks it in place. And over time, these bolts will stretch or loosen themselves a little bit and it will throw your timing off. Keep in mind, this engine only has 80-something thousand miles, and the PCM did not pick up that it has any timing issues, and the scanner actually said that it was in sync. Sorry to the previous mechanic, you were looking for a problem that didn't exist. Sometimes, even on a complicated modern vehicle, you still got to follow the basic strategy.